The concept of body horror found in the substance, combined with the STI angle from It Follows and the critique of Big Pharma in The Fall of the House of Usher, shapes what FX's The Beauty aims to present. While examining beauty ideals and their drawbacks is a familiar theme, this series of 11 episodes takes a different direction by considering what happens when perfection is introduced into the market. As the show's slogan puts it, a single shot enhances your appeal, where a gene-altering injection allows users to reveal their most ideal physical appearances. However, this also leads to the elite manipulating the market, terrible side effects caused by complex technology, a black market, and unethical experimentation. Right from the first episode, it's evident that The Beauty is a project of Ryan Murphy, blending shocking themes with a striking surface, similar to American Horror Story or his debated Monster series. However, a better comparison would be to AHS seasons like Freak Show or Hotel, which were overcrowded with ideas they couldn't fully develop with the attention they needed. In simpler terms, The Beauty shows promise, but it doesn't fully achieve it.
What is The Beauty about? FBI agents Cooper and Jordan are called to Paris to investigate a bizarre incident involving models exploding. You heard right. Extremely attractive people are exploding into piles of flesh and bone, spreading blood and other bodily fluids over a wide area. Apparently, there's a new virus that spreads through sexual contact and transforms its victims from their old, flawed bodies into extremely attractive forms, until it overheats internally and reduces the body to ruins. As agents investigate the virus's origin, they learn that Byron Forst, president of the globally renowned corporation, plans to release the virus into the public market. The series primarily follows the efforts of FBI agents trying to prevent the sale of this catastrophic injection, but obstacles arise at every turn. The Beauty also shows the corporation's perspective, from Byron's home life to the assassin he hires after the virus leaks during production. Occasionally, there is an anthology section that explores more personal experiences related to the virus. For example, a comical character named Jeremy, who believes he needs to be perfect in order to sleep. All these stories come together to create a dynamic, almost dystopian world centered around the theme of perfection in its liquid form.
Body horror should be a priority for The Beauty.
The Beauty handles body horror with considerable skill. Watching a character nearly melt from a raging fever before transforming into their perfect form is a visually unsettling experience, heightened by striking effects and sound design. Contortionist performers may help sell the spectacle, but it's the smaller details, like blistering skin or teeth falling out, that make each transformation feel distinct and horrifying. These scenes are not only uncomfortable to watch, but genuinely spine-tingling. The Beauty uses body horror as an anchor to return to when its conceptual explorations go to extremes. However, while these moments are effective, the overall payoff remains limited. Although every individual element of The Beauty is intriguing, its narrative feels a bit too scattered for its emotional and political impact to fully land. With such a complex world, the story's opening naturally moves slowly, introducing viewers to key characters and multiple storylines. As the pieces shift from one point to another, jumping from philosophical debates to fight scenes or sex scenes can be disorienting. At the same time, viewers may find themselves mentally tracking hidden motivations, shifting identities, and scientific questions. Once The Beauty picks up momentum around episode 4, however, it becomes a compelling examination of why people chase perfection and the extreme consequences of that pursuit, especially from the company's perspective. Unfortunately, The Beauty also suffers from a noticeable tonal issue. At its midpoint, the series is at its strongest when it blends body horror with capitalist imagery, delivering genuinely painful scenes that contrast effectively with its more glamorous visuals. At times, though, the tone becomes muddled. Certain lines of dialogue take themselves too seriously, leaning into earnestness and emotional directness that undercut the show's more absurd, entertaining edge. This problem becomes even more pronounced in the final episodes, as the series oscillates between body horror, science fiction, dystopia, and a touch of corporate espionage.
Has Ashton Kutcher entered his villain era with The Beauty? Peters is a familiar face in Murphy's projects and is usually cast as a villain or anti-hero, but in The Beauty, he takes on a leading role alongside Hall. He does an excellent job embodying the brooding FBI agent archetype and deserves praise as a standalone performance. Within the series, however, Peters gradually fades into the background. not due to any fault of his own, but because other characters begin to steal the spotlight. Cooper also becomes involved in a secret, tender relationship with his partner, and without giving too much away, their romantic chemistry undergoes a shift around episode 4 that deepens their bond. Up to that point, it's difficult to feel emotionally connected to the characters, but eventually we become more invested in their struggles and start to feel the show's sense of danger. Before turning to Kutcher, it's important to acknowledge the excellent performances by Ramos and Pope. Individually, both are captivating, but together they form an iconic duo of madness and murder that fully embodies what the beauty aims to be. As for Kutcher, he may start the series with a somewhat stiff performance, but as the episodes progress, he grows bolder in his villainy and ultimately exceeds expectations. We haven't really seen this side of the actor before, and it's a pleasure to watch him find his footing as a flamboyant villain with a surprisingly soft spot for his spouse. There were opportunities to lean even further into the role's theatricality, but Kutcher's antagonist is undeniably one of the show's main draws. While the beauty doesn't fully hit the mark, it explores intriguing ideas that could be further developed. Since the series ends on a sharp cliffhanger, there is hope for a second season, if it can strengthen its storytelling. Despite its wide-ranging and sometimes scattered concepts, there is plenty to appreciate. Striking body horror sequences, unconventional storylines, and distinctive performances among them. The beauty may need an extra push to reach true perfection, but it remains an entertaining entry into a dramatized version of the world we live in.